words of Mr. Incredible, showtime.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of What You Think, where we are talking about the fourth and I dare say the best episode of Marvel's latest TV show,
Yes.
What If. As always, you are joined by me, Momo, Mel, Fez, and Jang. And as usual, we're going to go into our negatives and our positives, and I think we have a lot of fun questions prepared for you, theorizing about the future of Mr. Doctor Armani Strange. Now, let's, as usual, kick off with our negatives. And I'm going to start first, but let me just, because I think everyone might share this negative. You guys ready for it?
Go for
Go
it.
ahead.
Okay.
We're waiting.
Okay, so the whole thing with this episode was, Strange goes, Christine, Christine, Christine. See, I think Benedict Cumberbatch does a lot of the heavy lifting here with the voice. You really
Agreed.
do feel his agony and sadness over Christine's
Mm-hmm.
death. But the issue is, I never felt that Doctor Strange cared about Christine in the movie, so it was hard for me to suddenly believe that suddenly he's a lovey-dovey bird like you're my life. Because the first Doctor Strange movie was very good, but again, that relationship was never like the highlight for me. It was always, the Ancient One and Baron Mordor and Wong. And I'm comparing it with the other MCU relationships, right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking of Pepper and Tony. I feel like Tony, in a lot of ways, was changed by Pepper for the better, right? He was able to move past from his selfish arrogance, and in many ways, Tony is kind of defined by his relationship with Pepper, and as well as we don't have to start with Peggy and Steve. Those two fucks always just want to go dancing, 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 and go, what is it? Go googly eyes on each other, right? And even in the movies, the Avengers movies, and not their solo stories, you still get their relationship with their significant other, right? Like with Tony in the first Avenger, Pepper's there. In Civil War, there's a mention of Pepper, Homecoming, so you really get to feel that relationship. And then Steve can't go 1 minute without looking at that picture of Peggy with a stopwatch, but it's not the same for Strange. So I feel like it would have just been a lot more impactful here if I felt it throughout the movies. Like in Infinity War, you could have Strange going like, "Oh, I just came back from lunch with Christine" or something. Just that the little things. But that's a very minor nitpick. And I just wanted to know, yeah, did anyone feel the same way when it came to the relationship with Christine?
Yeah, I also felt the same way, but it's very, very
Minor.
minor because I really love this episode a lot, like so much. Yeah, my one thing that I didn't like about this episode was the same as you. I felt like the montage of Christine just dying over and over. I felt like that was slightly too long. If they just cut that scene and maybe add one more scene to show how much Christine means to Doctor Strange, I think then I would have felt Doctor Strange sadness more, if that makes sense. But honestly, I didn't mind that they didn't have that because I love the episode so much, and that's like my only negative. Yeah.
Ooh, we got her. We got her.
You did. Marvel, you're making me happy now.
Well done. Well
We
done,
got her.
Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, I kind of disagree. No, because like when I was
Aw.
watching, no, when I was watching the Christine dying and all that, and he was trying different ways, I was like, there was a lot of
Consent.
um, how do I say? Like I was wondering, why don't you just don't turn up? Why don't you? I was thinking of all the
Yeah.
different
Oh, yeah.
ways you
Then
could,
Oh,
and luckily
scenario.
they went
Yeah.
through all of that because I was just like, I
Oh.
need to know what, like, did he really
you need
try
to know.
everything? And yeah, no, they tried. He literally tried everything, and I was there like,
What is
oh,
this
okay, okay.
Zootopia? Try everything. Well,
No, like
shut
when he
up.
was like, oh, I'm taking a different route. Then while he was taking a different route, I was thinking in my head, why don't you just don't turn up? And then like later he didn't turn up, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's where it is. And then like, oh, what happens if you get there? Then she just has a heart attack when she's there. I'm like, oh, okay.
She
So,
she's patient zero of the coronavirus.
yeah, that's why yeah, but yeah, I really this episode I don't have any negative. I really can't think of anything
Wow.
Oh,
Very
negative.
same.
nice.
Oh,
No, it
fuck.
was so complete. I don't know how to. It's just
I
Yeah,
agree,
perfect,
100% agree.
just very complete, and it just ended
agreed.
nicely. Like it's very sad, but it ended very nicely.
Very
So
sad,
yeah.
but very nice.
Yeah, exactly like Jang. I remember thinking, what if you guys just stay home? But I'm pretty sure she's gonna find a way to die anyway.
The house,
Even
the
if
house
You
you
is going
choke.
to
stay
come. I
home.
was like, whoa, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, what the?
You'll
Yeah,
choke on
for sure.
pizza.
I mean, I like the episode, but I don't know if it's just today or maybe it's just me, but I wouldn't say that it's the best episode in my opinion. It's not an episode that I hold very highly, mainly because I just felt like Doctor Strange. I never really pictured him as kind of like what Momo you alluded to earlier in your
Lovey-dovey
response.
creme brulee.
Yeah, I never really pictured him as that because I've always thought he was more of like a logical
Fair.
kind of person. So seeing him being stretched out to wanting to destroy basically the entire universe just because of this just seemed a little bit out
Far-fetched.
there for me, a little bit far-fetched. So I think towards the end when we had the battle between the two Doctor Strange, how do I make that plural? The Doctor
Doctor
Stranges.
Strangers? Doctor Strange. Strange. Just strangers,
between the
dangers.
two between the two doctors, I just felt like it kind of was kind of edging towards being a little bit not cringy, but just um yeah, just not something I was really expecting, I guess.
For me personally, that's a interesting point because for me, I was just so
I
invested
loved
in this
it.
episode.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm agree. I loved it so much. I was just so happy when I finished the episode. I felt like I understand where you're coming from the cringy, and I can definitely see it. But for me, I kind of see it as like it's like we see a different perspective of Doctor Strange. No, not a different perspective, a different side to Doctor Strange. Because normally Doctor Strange is very scientific and serious all the time. So the fact that he is very flawed in caring about something he loves the most and being so soft and fragile about it, I thought that was so different. That's why I was so invested in this episode.
Yeah, and also like the fact that he wanted to bring back Christine is
Christine!
yeah, he just keeps shouting. But like yeah, but the fact that to me it's more of his character. It's kind of like he
Yeah.
doesn't it's more the fact that he doesn't give up. He like once he's set already, like
Right.
even if it's stupid, he doesn't care already.
Don't
It's
give
set,
up.
it's
Yeah.
done,
I
it's
won't
gonna
give
happen.
in
Like that's
till
why
I reach the
he went to
end.
Kamataj and everything, and this is just another thing. Like this Christine, maybe he did it for love, but it's also like just his character. He's already said that he's
Yeah.
gonna do it, so he's not gonna stop until it's done. And then so that's why like the good strange, when the bad and good strange, the good strange was like kind of like developed a bit. Like he learned to let go. He
Mm.
learned to let go of things, like once, yeah, like you can't do it, like he for once accept that he can't do it, you know what I mean? But the bad strange just kept going and just got worse and worse. Like the watcher was saying, he was just like, this is just spiraling out of control. But he's just like, well, I'm not interfering.
No,
Yeah.
but
No, I just want to add on to Jang's point. I completely agree. I feel like this episode really, the character writing in this was really, really good. They really point out, they really emphasizes Doctor Strange flaws and how we see him as being theoretical. And even he said in the episode, he always wants to fix everything. And just seeing his growth and acceptance at the end of the episode, just it's kind of also like a life message saying like you can't theorize everything and not everything can be the perfect output and you just got to get through it. And I love that so much. I thought that was so
very
powerful.
powerful.
Yeah.
Mhm. I really liked how they used the parallel between having, the so-called bad and the good Doctor
Mm.
Strange to do that as like a physical
Yeah.
Inside
embodiment of what
yourselves,
that
yeah.
message is supposed to be. Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
basically depicting the battles that we have within ourselves, basically
Yeah.
the us in the past and us now or in the future. So I just really enjoyed that message. I think Marvel, as usual, does a really good job at bringing out messages like these and kind of like presenting it in a way that it's completely like artistic but also very understandable in my opinion. And I
No, it's kind of like that thing that the guy said. He said that there's a fine line
Love can shatter
between
your mind. Oh,
no, there's a fine line between dedication and delusion, which is like because
yeah,
that gets to a point where you're just like stop this.
yeah.
You're it's not worth it. Like even if you do achieve it, it's not worth it.
at what cost if you absorb everything, right? But yeah, I think for the most part we're positives, and I can't wait to just sink our teeth in to the positives. But I have three rapid fire things I just wanted to add. The first one is Benedict Cumberbatch seems to like to fight himself. Because you know who voiced Dormammu, right? Does
Yeah,
anyone?
Oh
Benedict
him.
Cumberbatch.
Oh
Yeah,
him.
He
him.
was Dormammu, so yeah, he seems to enjoy fighting himself. And when he turned into a dragon, I was like, hey, Smaug. I was like,
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I see what you
we
did there.
got that Smaugy, and then for fuck's sake, can we stop it with the tentacles? And I saw that monster come out.
Oh yeah.
No.
He's
I
in
know.
he has a name. He has a name. The villain has a name that people have been talking about on
It's called I
Twitter.
don't give a fuck
Shoot.
because it's a fucking tentacle monster. I
Oof.
hate it. I just don't.
It's
It's just
called
so weird.
it's called Shuma Gorath. He's like this weird living being, like if you can see him. That's
Oh,
it.
Oh,
Oh.
interesting.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but Peggy
apparently.
Carter can just push it through a portal. No harm. So I just don't like these weird tentacle monsters
Same.
because they add nothing to them. They're just like flailing their arms like an idiot. And also, you know, when Christine, the dying montage, you know where there's one part where she's waiting outside the lobby building, right? And you
Yeah.
know, there's
Yeah.
I don't know what you call that, an arc, like a pillar
Yeah, yeah.
to
Oh
protect from
yeah.
rain. I was expecting it to fall on her. Like
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I
Oh my
was like ready
god.
to laugh.
oh my god.
I was like, is it gonna fall on her? And then it just
No, the one that really got me was the pizza.
the
They
mugger.
went for
Oh,
pizza. Yeah, I was
oh
just like, for
no,
fuck's
no.
sakes, are you kidding me? There's so many places to rob. Must you rob here now?
That's
Like,
why. Rob a pizza place. I need a $10
The
from the cash register.
yeah, and
the
then
one
the
that
heart attack one was like,
yes,
wow, she just
Yeah, same. I was like, whoa, they
like,
did that. It's that
that's
extent.
that's the one that got me. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, like
Why didn't they
you
try a
really
helicopter
wanted
though? I
that.
was thinking they
What
didn't
do you
try
mean?
the air, did they?
fly
But
there
there's gonna
once.
be a fall. It doesn't matter. There's gonna be a
Iron Man
storm.
is
She's gonna have a
passing
heart
by.
attack.
Actually, my thought at the end was that when the other Doctor Strange finally managed to bring her back to life, you know, and how she was like crawling away screaming. I thought she was gonna crawl all the way
She was
to
like,
the edge of the
Oh,
fall
and then
and
like yeah,
die.
same. It's just
Yeah.
meant to be.
I
Yeah.
love that part where they finally meet each other and you see that giant monster. Like Christine,
Oh
you
my god.
dumbass.
No, imagine she fell off and then he just like, at this point you're just killing yourself. I mean, like, I can't, I can't.
Oh my god, guys, can we come up with like creative? What other ways do you think Christine can die in a
Dumb
creative
ways
way?
to die.
So many dumb
Oh,
ways.
basically the whole video of stuff with
No, she just like trips on the curb or something. She just trips
concussion.
like, oh, of
died.
course.
She's
Like,
trying to
oh
get
my
like,
God.
I'm lactose intolerant.
You died
No,
from
the
the
heart-
pizza.
she's trying to get dressed, but then she strangles herself in the process.
like what happened? No, and then like no, the heart attack one was really the one where I'm like, oh, you
He does
Yes,
not live
oh my
today.
god.
spontaneous cardiac arrest. What the hell? Just out of nowhere.
But on the whole, it seems
So like,
we love this episode. So I guess I can't wait to let's dive right into it, right? So I think technically we can always say, you know, the action is always great, the animation is always great. Would you all agree? Like it's the show has found its stride, I think.
For sure.
And
Agreed.
technically it's and today the writing really helps support everything. And the voice acting for one, I don't think there was a weak link because everyone came back.
Mhm.
Unlike the
Yeah.
other ones where the like one person is just like, that's not it. That's not it. This one is
That's
like
not it, bro.
you got the Benny Combs, you got the Tilda Swinton, you got the Benedict Wong. But you know, one of the things I liked the most was the librarian character. If you guys remember,
Yeah,
Hmm?
I
you know
remember.
why? Because see, the issue is with a lot of the other characters we've just met the same characters, right? We've never met someone totally new with no other, with someone new and is not a villain in disguise or whatnot. You guys get what I mean, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, just to see someone random who helps drive the story forward is, I felt, added to the world building of this to make it more, wide ranging rather than just meeting the same people with a different light. But yeah, I want to pass it to Mel, who I think was the most lukewarm on this episode first. What did you dislike, love
Ooh.
about this episode?
You touched on a couple of things that I've consistently always liked with the show so far. The one thing that I really noticed as well is that they really, really like to emphasize the eyes of the
Mhm.
characters using
Yeah.
lighting, and I think that's just really very, very nice and at times intimidating, which is like I
Very
feel like the
nice.
show the feel that they're trying to get across. But I really like that voice acting, like you said, was good. Benedict Cumberbatch, wow, I mean, as
It's Benny.
expected, right? Yeah,
Yes.
I think he did a really good job, especially with the Christine
Mhm.
no. So um I really like that. And there are a couple other things I like. I'm pretty sure. I just can't think of it right now. I was very fixated on the negatives.
On
Oh, the
X Benny?
soundtrack. The
Yes.
soundtrack.
Yes. It was really
Especially
good.
the montage of Christine dying. That
Mm-hmm.
got me. I actually got like so emotional from that. I just thought that it
Same.
was really, really beautifully done. And I actually quite enjoy, well, I'm a bit lukewarm on this episode, but this episode will stand out to me nonetheless, mainly because we managed to get an interaction between the character and the watcher, which I thought was really
Yeah.
interesting because it's kind of like meeting an alter ego or something. And I just found it quite funny as well with the way how the watcher was like, nope, this is your problem.
I wish I
I'm
could though. If I could send you to hell, I would.
he was basically saying everything that we wanted to say to Doctor Strange
Yeah.
at this time, basically going like, guys, like, what are you trying to do? Like, you're so stupid right now. Like, look at what you've done. And but I actually really like the ending for this episode,
Same.
actually, as heartbreaking as it was.
Very
I just thought that
dark.
was very fitting. Yeah.
I agree.
Actually, yeah, like talking about this now, I think I'm going from like being a bit lukewarm about it. I think I'm going to maybe increase my percentage of how much I liked this episode,
Mm.
probably to like
Easy.
75 ish. It's
Right,
pretty
easy.
good. Yeah.
How about you, Jang? What did you love about this episode?
No, it's just so complete. Like it just I
33
like that it
minutes.
ended.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like that the whole reality just collect, and that's the end of that timeline or that branch. That's it. He destroyed everything. And yeah, this no, it's crazy that the story is like this is how a hero turned into a villain. Like
Mhm.
oh
Yeah.
damn. Like it was a very good intention at the start, and then he just start to spiral really. It was just like, oh, okay, absolute point. Okay, then I need power. Then okay, now I need power. I need more power. Then after I get
More
power,
people.
then no, I like how that librarian was also. He was just like Doctor Strange, like, hey, why are you dying? It's just like, oh, you've been at
Been
it for
centuries.
centuries, and it's just like,
What?
oh, I didn't know that. And then just like, I'll just fix you. Then it's like, no, you can't fix me. Just let me die. And he's just there like,
Mhm.
oh, okay. So like,
Mhm.
yeah, and then like even by the end of the episode, he like learned that like, yeah, like you need to give up. Like there's a point where you need to give up. And no, but the thing that kind of like a bit weird for me was the ancient one, how she keeps coming back.
Hello.
Yeah, she
Oh
she just
yeah.
appears like you're dead.
I'm able to send an echo through various timelines.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, okay, of course you can, but like why?
Somehow Ancient One has returned.
You can't get
Yeah,
rid of Tilda Swinton.
You can't.
yeah,
Like
so she just
Volthook come anywhere.
yeah, and then like yeah, even like yeah, the voice acting of Doctor Strange, like even when like at the end of the death montage, he was just like Christina's like, oh, why don't you let me drive? Then he's just like, yeah, why
Oh,
not? And then
oh
he's
my
just
god.
sitting there and just like, I don't know
That
anymore.
was
And then just gets hit again.
heartbreaking.
Yeah, he's just there like, like that.
Can we all
That's
agree that montage was the best part? I'd say yeah.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, like they
Yeah.
covered enough scenarios where I can't think of any other way he could have tried.
Have
You
you
know what I
tried
mean?
digging underground?
Yeah, just like lock her in a room and then
She's
just
gonna
be like,
suffocate.
no, she's gonna suffocate or she's just gonna have the heart attack. I don't understand. Like, how does this
Like-
happen?
Plot twist, like she becomes allergic to soil or something.
She just
Wait.
like you're staying in this hotel room. There's nothing that can get you here. Then it's like I'm allergic to pain. Just dying. Wow. So like yeah, and I like that they kind of expanded that there's things called the absolute point where you
Ah.
can't change, which is like
Yeah.
And it's very in
oh.
character, right? Like, what's her name? The ancient one couldn't reverse her death, although she
Mm.
wanted to. She pulled on all the dark magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like yeah, that's actually another absolute point. Her death is an absolute point. Like she will have to die when
Yep.
Doctor Strange comes. Like it's just so like oh okay, that's cool.
She's
Yeah.
basically trying to tell him, like, hey, look, if everyone and I can accept that my death is an absolute point, just accept that Christine's death is an absolute point, for God's
can-
sake.
You can too. Just stop it.
I mean, like,
Are
look
we
at how
supposed-
easy it was for me.
No, like that's why I can kind of relate to him because like he's just like no. He's just like
Yeah.
like Momo knows like when we play GTA and we'll play until like 2 a.m. in the morning because we can't finish the mission. But I won't give up.
I'm always like, okay, let's
Oh,
end it. Let's go
gosh.
to sleep. Like, no.
No, then I'm like, no, again. We get
Oh
shot
my
again, and I'll
God.
just be like, again. So it's literally we're just doing the death montage. But like, yeah, so like, yeah,
But
that's why
actually
he just does it
successful.
over and over again, and it's like, it's really sad.
It'll be like
yeah.
that one Tom Cruise movie, basically.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's one of
Oh
my
yeah, that
favorite
one.
movies. Favorite action
I
movie.
love that
love
movie. Yeah. It's
I
a
like
good
Emily
movie.
Blunt.
You're very
Yeah,
blunt
but-
about that.
Yeah, how about you, Fez? What did you love? I think what is it? We
Okay.
finally got you on the I love
Prepare.
what
I
if
know.
side.
They
I
did
love
it so
that.
well. I
Good
have
job.
like one whole page full of notes. So
Very
prepare
nice,
to.
please.
Oh my God,
Yes, please.
my voice is gonna hurt from speaking. But yeah, for
Give me
my-
fire when ready.
Momo, I know you said in your negatives that you didn't feel really the
Momo?
connection between Christine and Doctor Strange, but personally, I kind of did. I love the relationship in this episode. I'm so glad we got to see more of them together. I really wish when I saw the 2016 movie, I really wish we got to saw more of them. So I'm really glad in this
But
episode
I'm
we
just
did
curious.
it.
I'm gonna interject. Did you
Yeah.
believe in their relationship in 2016? Like, really believe
Yeah.
it? Okay. I think
I
it was
kind
cool.
of believed it. I kind of believed it, but I also was like, I wish I got to see more to believe it
Hmm.
even further.
That's the issue for me. It's like I didn't see it in Infinity War or Endgame. You know what I mean? If
Mm.
Christine
Oh,
was there
yeah.
doing the funeral in Endgame, maybe I'd go like, oh, because I haven't seen a Doctor Strange movie in ages. So
Mm.
if you just had
Yes.
Christine at the funeral, also like, who's this guy again?
Ah,
Just go look
hopefully,
solemn. They
hopefully
really
they'll
dive
do
into it in
more.
Multiverse of Madness, right?
Yeah, I hope that because they confirmed she's coming back, right? Rachel McAdams.
Yeah, and Rachel McAdams can do lovey-dovey Notebook.
For
Mm.
sure. Yeah. The notebook. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
please, Fez.
I agree with everyone. Benedict Cumberbatch was amazing. His voice range is so good. You can definitely tell in his voice whether he's hurt and his sadness and his despair. Especially my favorite scenes is when he really didn't understand why Christine kept dying. I felt like his voice range really shined in that. And I agree with Mel. The music in this is phenomenal, especially the montage scene. And actually, any scenes with Christine, they will always play this somber music to kind of reflect Doctor Strange's soft spot for Christine. So it kind of just like makes everything emotional, which I love that a lot. And oh my God, okay, this is the one thing this is like one of the highlights of the episode too, which is why I was so supportive when the show was announced. And they did it right. They utilized and used the animation concept very, very well done, especially from like especially like when this in the scenes where he kept absorbing all the animals and his face turned into
Oh,
animals.
yeah.
That was so
Yeah.
bold. There were a lot of many bold scenes where they just went crazy with the animation, which I'm like, yes, that's what I've been waiting for. Like from like
Everything
you know
you
the
ever want.
like I think I think the animators also did a good job doing like a really good visual contrast between Strange Supreme and Doctor Strange. The contrast is very
Mm-hmm.
big, and they done it so well. My favorite one was, when Doctor Strange first met Strange Supreme and he was talking to him, and like the portal is kind of like a split line to show the contrast. Oh, I love that. I love all, and in terms of like the technicalities, I love the rain reflection when he was sad. I love the lighting, just everything was amazing. And even the expressions. Personally, for the first 3 episodes, I felt like the main character's expression was very stiff, but I felt like this one, Doctor Strange was so expressive. You can see from his eyes and his face that he's hurt or sad or angry. I love that so much. And who was it? Yeah, I also agree with Mel. I love the interaction between the Watcher. I feel like as an audience, we get to know the Watcher more in a way, because so far, I think for the first 3 episodes, the Watcher has just been like a
Nothing.
narrator. Yeah, it's just like, oh, nothing. So the fact that we can understand the Watcher's role more from his involvement in this episode just made me happy. And yeah, that is my positive. Oh shoot.
I completely agree with you, Fez, because I definitely do feel
Ooh.
like the animators really picked up their game, especially for this episode.
Mm.
And thinking about episode 1 to 3 so far, I always felt that the main characters often had that same signature smug all
Mhm.
across their faces. But this time around, we got to see them actually play around with the mechanisms of it all. And I guess it's something that I really felt was a bit more natural this time around. So yeah, especially with how much they had to animate with Doctor Strange. I mean, he's
Yeah.
all sorts of wonky, right? And they did a really good job with that for this episode. So this definitely stood out. Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to add about the animation. I also really love how they explored with different types of an animation, especially when Doctor Strange and Strange Supreme, when they were just using their powers, you can see the different styles of animation. And I just thought that was so impressive and amazing from Marvel. And that is how it's supposed to be done.
Yes,
Yeah.
Queen.
Nice.
Just two things. One, every time you say Strange Supreme, I feel like you're setting it up for the, what is it, eventual food tie-in when Doctor Strange 2 comes out, if they do have the Strange Supreme, because you can already have two burgers,
Ooh.
like Doctor
Ooh.
Strange, and then you have the Strange Supreme with like an added patty. It just sounds like a
Mm.
nice burger. I like the Strange Supreme, please, with Wong fries. And then if you do have that Burger King tie-in, you need to have like a tuna melt just for Wong. That costs 25 cents.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
25. A buck and a half. Oh, I love that scene. But also, just to kind of go full circle with all your points, I just have to say that I I think on the part of the writers and all,
Yeah.
they started us off very easy with episode one. Just like
Yeah.
what if we'll just tell the first Avenger again, and then with the second one they started to go a bit wonky. So I love that. I I guess I do like it because if you just went with this episode, maybe it would have been too much on the senses, and you just would be asking a lot of questions like about this and this and this and this. So the gradual bringing us into the I concept of multiverses and nexus points and absolute time and all that good stuff. I guess on the part of the writers, I can see an overall plan starting to emerge, but it still doesn't change the fact that
Mm.
some of the shortcomings of the earlier episodes. And also, just generally, I think this episode combines what I really love about the third episode and what I like about the second episode a lot. It's a mix of driven by story, but at the same time also giving a chance to explore a different side of Doctor Strange, which you've all discussed at length about. But yeah, I just want them to continue on the caliber of the writing that we have with this episode for the next 5 episodes, I believe. So yeah.
I just want to add, like, I think they did also a good job in terms of not promoting it too much and just giving a poster and that's it. I think the less we know, the better of a chance we'll have a good time, because if we know too much or if there are too many trailers or talks about it, the expectation's really high, which I felt like that's why I was disappointed in the first two. So the fact
Absolutely,
that
yes.
they just gave us nothing and we just have to be in a surprise every week, I love it, and I hope they continue doing that so I can be
It's very
impressed.
fun,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's like a fun mystery
Yeah.
box. Right. I do enjoy. I'm starting to really enjoy What If, and in Kevin Feige, I'm sorry to have ever doubted you.
I guess this episode really shows how important, like Momo, you've alluded to this, how important it is to really focus a lot more on characters that we already kind of know a lot about from the movies because we've seen them consecutively. So when it comes to the what if, it's just focusing on different plots and seeing different sides of characters that we thought we knew to the best of our abilities, because just comparing it again to episode 1, which we all definitely did not like with Peggy, because we don't really see a lot of her. We don't really know a lot about her, which is why when it came to episode 1, we're like, okay, yeah, she can do this, but I feel like I don't get her at this point in time. And it just felt a lot more like just for show. Yeah. So it wasn't so much like, oh, I can get creative with it, etc. So that's why I quite enjoy this episode, I guess.
I think, yep, I definitely agree with that. And are you guys ready for that question time? Tung, tung, tung. If no one has anything else to add on
As
positives or
always.
negatives, did you guys think about the questions I sent on the group, or did you not?
I did. I
I
did.
Very
did, yeah.
nice. Okay, and
Are you
have
happy?
I have a surprise third question that I just came up with. Okay, the first question I have for you is, let's talk about Doctor Strange and the Spider-Man Far From Home, No Way Home trailer, right? You guys remember that trailer? We talked about it last week. We probably liked it
Yeah.
more than the
Yeah.
actual
Yeah.
episode. So my question was, we were all like, oh, is it Mephisto? Is Doctor Strange going
Yeah.
mad? Why is he helping Peter do
Hmm.
something so stupid? But then this episode reminded me also like, oh, he's just a bit of an arrogant cock, isn't he? Who thinks he can stop everything because he's the Sorcerer Supreme. And if anything, Wong saying, Strange, don't cast that spell as I go fight Abomination in Shang-Chi. That makes him go,
Mm.
you know what? I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Yeah, fuck. Nobody tells me what to do. So,
Mhm.
yeah, what does everyone, does anyone think it's Mephisto? Or is probably just Strange and his arrogance? Because it's kind of like Tony Stark, isn't it? None of us are going at Tony Stark for creating Ultron. Kind of fucked up there. Kind of destroyed a lot of
Kinda
Sokovians
fucked
over
up.
there.
I think he really fucked
He
up
really
there.
fucked up over there. It was his own, what is it, his greatest flaw, or what will have you. So yeah, does
Yeah.
anyone think Doctor Strange is doing all that on his own accord, or do we have Mama Fisto?
No, I
Feds,
think
please.
I
Kick us
I
off.
think he's definitely doing it on his own accord, and it's just like him just being against scientific and want to fix everything. Because if it really was, what's his name again, Mephisto,
Mephisto.
if it
Mephisto.
was really Mephisto, they would really make it obvious that he's there. They wouldn't like hide it like that. I feel like if they really want to set up Mephisto, they would just like let it out and just upfront say, "Hey, it's Mephisto." There we go. I think they wouldn't like hide it that way. Also, I feel like it's kind of a I think it's also coincidence. No, it's not a coincidence. It's planned that they release Spider-Man No Way Home
Ah,
because
that's
this
true.
is
Yeah.
yeah, because this is a foreshadow of Spider-Man No Way Home, basically, of like what happens if you go back in time and try to fix the past, which is what Peter wants to do in Spider-Man No Way Home. So it's
Mhm.
kind of like foreshadowing what the movie, how things are not going to turn out great in the movie, and you should be prepared that there are going to be some serious consequences. So yeah, I feel like it's all planned for that.
Mhm.
How about you, Jang? Who is it, Mephisto or Mr. Doctor Armani Strange?
Mr. Doctor. Yeah, Mr. Doctor, it's him. Like no, because like no, he is arrogant and he's just like, well, you came to me with a problem, I can fix this problem. I know I can, so like let's do it, you know.
But
He
it's Peter
just
who messes it up. Who asked him to go talk?
yeah, but no, but that's the thing I like that they're setting like in this what if episode and the
Mhm.
trailer is that you can't just go back to the past and change something. Like
But
they
he's
need to put something there so that not everyone will just start doing it. Like, oh, let's go and bring back Iron Man. Let's go and do this. Let's bring
Yeah.
back like everyone's gonna
Black
start bringing
Widow.
back people. Yeah. People are just gonna bring people
Mhm.
back. So they need to like
I agree.
explain why that you can't do that. That's not
Yeah.
that's like a point
Yeah.
where like no, you can't do that. So yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
so if anyone at Marvel, a fan goes to Marvel, why you don't bring back Black Widow? The Disney overlord will be like, we don't want to pay her a check. But then Kevin Feige just goes, we can't. Story wise, not good. No.
No,
So how about
yeah.
How about you,
And then
Mel?
the
Yes,
answer would basically just be like, "What if episode 4? Go watch that."
Yeah, so true.
I I don't know. I kind of just agree with Fez and Jang at this point in time. At this point in time, I do think it's up to Strange's
Will.
arrogance, will,
Arrogance.
arrogance.
I can fix
He's
everything. I'm
thinking,
smart.
yeah,
And when one
giving
goes,
me,
don't cast the spell. I
yeah,
will. I'm gonna do it
giving
twice.
me, giving me Iron Man vibes from the earlier movies as well, about how, like, oh, he has a reason, he's gonna act upon it by himself, but we all know how that ended for Spider-Man, so let's hope it doesn't end the same way for Doctor Strange.
It kind of reminds me when everyone goes, don't land. Can you just land the plane at the airstrip? And you have me going, oh, I landed right outside the prison.
Oh yeah, that's our reference.
No, because what is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
me and Momo were playing GTA, and then he's the pilot, so he needs to pick me and Gareth up, and then instead of landing on the airstrip, he land on in a field next to us. So like,
Oh my god.
We got
That's
out, didn't we?
amazing.
yeah, I
Amazing.
had to shoot so many cops, but yeah, okay.
I'm I'm giving myself what's his name, Doctor Strange vibes, I guess.
I love the
And
coop.
the next question is, I'm not gonna ask the last question because I think I'm gonna save that for the end. But so, anyone have any guesses on what might happen in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness? Are we do? Is anything happening here? Could it happen in the movie? Are we going to see Strange Supreme as a potential villain? I'm hearing word that the X-Men are somehow gonna be in the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
So what the fuck is going on there?
I definitely think it's gonna be a whole madness of like timey womey blah 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 stuff for sure, because we've set that up from the beginning with, like, especially with Loki and the TVA, and now with this possible, like, this Strange Supreme and all of that.
Strange
So I
Supreme.
feel like they're really kind of like bracing us for that idea, and it's just a big mess of branches and nexus events, I guess.
So everything goes in the Multiverse of Madness. Even
Yes, they're
Superman
just gonna
showing up.
stuff everything in one branch right now. That's my thought.
Yeah, and I think after Spider-Man No Way Home comes out, I think our expectations is gonna just be wild, because that movie is gonna be wild. So I feel like Doctor Strange will be even crazier. But yeah, I just wanted to point out also that they already kind of confirmed that Doctor Strange, they're gonna go through like a new genre of being this horror, scary movie.
I mean,
So
you have Sam Raimi.
so I'm I'm kind of excited to see how they're gonna
I know.
execute it, because it sounds so interesting and it's not been done in Marvel before. But at the same time, a bit, I mean, like, I guess in trust with Kevin Feige, because like I don't
Sam
know
Raimi.
how they're gonna do it and not scare the little children. I don't know how they're gonna
I
do
mean,
that, but we'll see.
I'm so excited for Doctor Strange too, and I wasn't initially, but for me it was always when they announced that Sam Raimi was directing Doctor Strange 2. You guys know who he is, right?
Yeah,
You?
yeah, I do.
Jang? Mel? Yeah, so
Yeah.
I just want him. You know that scene in Spider-Man 2 where the Doc Ock tentacles come alive and kills everyone in the hospital? Yeah, I just want that darkness in a Doctor Strange movie. But also I want some campiness, you know? I want Doctor Strange to start dancing like Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 3. So Doctor Strange 2 is gonna be a crazy, crazy movie. I can't wait for it. But yeah, how about you, Jang? Any ideas on if anything that we've seen here will show up in Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness?
I really don't know, but the only thing that I just hope that they don't make it too
Crazy.
complicated. They need to
Mm.
keep it like, no, because that's the problem with the Flash TV show. Like
Mhm.
it was good at the start, then as they went into timelines and different realities and all this, once it all starts mixing, it gets fun,
Yeah.
but it gets confusing. So like I just hope like in 5 years time, when we like somebody like who's never watched Marvel movies for some stupid reason, like if they like, I don't want to have to say to them like just watch till Endgame and then stop, because after that it gets too confusing. So like yeah, I hope that they, whatever they do, make sure it still makes sense, and like yeah, don't overcomplicate it, because like oh my god, the Flash TV show, like his daughter from the future come here, then
Oh yeah.
this guy, he's like every season he's a different character, even though it's the same guy playing the kid. He's like, oh, I'm this guy. I'm this. Like, oh my god, like after a while you just get it's way too much. So yes, I hope that it's good, that the multiverse of madness is good, and there's so many
Goes
X-Men.
crazy.
Yes, everything. Yes, very good. But keep it make
it
sure
simple.
it makes
Yeah, yeah.
sense. Yeah, and then like explain why there needs to be barriers to be like, yeah, this is the reason why we can bring these guys in and these guys only. And then this is so like, yeah. So yeah, I just hope that they don't fuck it up.
Don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah, like I think there's also another issue is if they keep trying to bring so many characters and they're trying to like overload our senses with that in the plot, there's this risk of also losing the core of what Marvel really is, because we're so stuck and very
Yeah.
accustomed to the very same characters because we grew up with them, we empathize with them, etc. But if you're going to have about like 20 random other characters coming in because of the timeline, I think that might make us lose a bit of more of our interest, perhaps, or like
Yeah.
what captivated us to watch Marvel in the first place, because then it'll just kind of look like some sort of party rather than
Yeah,
gimmick,
yeah.
an
right?
actual
It's a gimmick.
franchise. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So
Just
the idea of the multiverse is good, but I feel like that shouldn't be your selling point. Marvel,
Mhm.
it's a
Yes.
good feature, but it's not your selling point.
Yeah,
Just to
because
add-
like when it's a linear path, it's really easy because like there's only one version of each character. But once you like, if like maybe like there's 20 Buckys or 20 Doctor Strangers, and you're just like, oh, this is another one. Like it's just like, oh god,
Yeah.
what's going on? So like it's and then like if you've never watched any of these movies and then you just see 20 of the same guy, you're just like, what
Yeah.
am I watching? So like
Yeah, for
oh my
sure.
god, it's really easy to just go crazy, but too
Mhm.
crazy until it doesn't make sense. Please don't.
you know what makes me laugh? Remember last time we had discussion about how DC copies Marvel?
Yes, yes.
It's actually funny because if I'm not mistaken, DC announced the Flashpoint movie for like since 2016, if you guys remember. I think Jang should remember, right? Like DC
Yeah.
was like, we're like a
Oh,
Flashpoint. But then
yeah.
they kept on
Yeah.
pushing Flashpoint. They kept on pushing Flashpoint.
Yeah, yeah.
And then who now is doing the multiverse first? Who managed to get it?
Oh.
The Flash isn't supposed to come out until 2022, I think. So then when
God
No
knows
Way
what's
Home
happening.
when No Way Home comes out this December, everyone's gonna think, oh, Marvel did the multiverse first.
Oh.
Oh.
DC, you
Poor
tried.
DC, they can't catch a
You tried.
break. No, I mean, but to be fair, they did put out BVS first, if you think about it. But then everyone is like, oh, whatever. You got
What?
No, there was one
Smallville,
cool thing they did in the Flash TV show where they brought the Justice League
Oh,
Flash
yeah.
and they saw
I
each
saw
other.
that.
They were just
I
like,
saw that
oh,
in a
hi.
1-minute clip.
Yeah, so like but that should be the purpose of the multiverse, like to bring the other movies that people don't think is like relevant anymore, and just like, hey, just like pull them in, you know what I mean? But like, yeah.
But it always has to serve the story. Because, I mean,
Yeah.
for me, with No Way Home initially, I was like, what the fuck? You want to bring Jamie Foxx's Electro? I'm sorry, Electro was. I watched the movie again. Jamie Foxx is such a good actor, and I'm so happy he's getting another chance. But his Electro is just stupid. Oh, his comb over.
Oh, yeah.
It's my birthday.
It's my birthday. You
I love
forgot.
the guy.
I never met you.
I love the guy from The Office, Ryan. He's in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I never
What,
realized.
really?
Oh yeah,
What?
One
yeah.
of the
What
he's one of the
was?
Oscorps.
He's the boss. He's the
Oscorp
boss.
dicks. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Oh.
he goes in the elevator. Baxter's like, oh, it's my birthday. Don't leave me alone. And then
He's just like,
he
bye.
goes like, happy birthday. And then he's just so ridiculous. And his scene with Gwen Stacy, I was watching it. I was like, I want to cry. This is horrible. He's like, he's all, oh, I like this woman. He's like, oh, Spider-Man loves me, man. Oh.
Spider-Man loves me, man.
The way Goblin was talking to Electra, I wanted to like just curl up in a ball and cry because it was so cringy.
Wait.
I need
Oh,
you,
oh,
Max. You need
oh.
me.
You need me.
And don't get me started on that Russian doctor in the movie, like, hello, Max, we will steal your blood. I was like, what
No,
is
no.
this movie?
And then
And
they're
then
like, oh, yeah. And then they
Yeah.
wanted to start a Sinister Six, right? At the
That
end,
is
they're
so
like,
funny. They really tried. They really
No,
laughing like Green Goblin.
no, there was like not even the Doc Ock's hands were in like
Oh,
one of
yeah.
the cages, and they're just like, what?
They
Why?
really tried. It's crazy. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is insane. Like, oh, when I was watching, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Holy shit. My favorite part of the movie is the plane. Like,
wait, what play?
The two planes were gonna crash.
Oh
I
yeah,
just
yeah.
find that
Oh
so
wait.
ridiculous. No, because the
Oh, is
power
it the
was out.
beginning? Is it the
No, at the
beginning
end, when
scene
the
you talk?
power, at the end, when the whole
Yeah.
electro grid goes off, so the power was out. So then the planes were
Oh,
just flying in blind, and the plane just
oh.
was like,
Yeah.
if you watch it as a comedy, it's really good. And I'm sorry, I just had to rant because I just watched it again. The okay, Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield are really good together. But
Yeah,
holy
yeah.
shit, it's so insufferable. I date you. Don't
I
want to date
know,
you. I
right?
want to date you. I don't. They're really cute together. The first one, they're really good together. But it's weird because like I can't date you because you're dead. And then at the end, he's like, don't make promises you can't keep. I'm sorry, it's just
Yeah.
a mini rant, which is really sad because Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone were really good in those movies, and I'm really sad they killed her off because it just felt like they were doing it for the sake of stakes, and for the
Mm.
sake of something shocking rather than it was the best part of the franchise, and then you just kill her off. But
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah,
I
but like
digress.
in,
Yeah,
in in the comics, like Green Goblin
yeah,
did kill
I know, but
Gwen Stacy. So.
it just felt kind of like really, why would you do that here? She was the best part
It
of the
felt
movies.
tacky also. It felt tacky and really rushed. Like they just want to
Don't
do it for fun. You know
don't
what
get
I
me
mean?
started on Dane DeHaan in that movie. I want your blood. No, fuck you.
Dane
Nah.
DeHaan. Dane DeHaan. Oh my
And then,
god.
Does anyone have anything to add about the Amazing Spider-Man 2?
No,
oh
That
the
my,
makes
the
sense.
actually the first Spider-Man, the
It's
Spider-Man
good.
1, 2,
yeah,
3.
that one is
Oh yeah.
good.
Yeah, no, to me
Yeah.
the annoying thing is Mary Jane actually.
Oh, me
no,
too.
she keeps
Me too.
screaming. Jeez.
Me too.
Like we know you're in trouble. You don't need to scream every 5 seconds. And then like I was watching it like on my TV downstairs, and then like my dad came down like, who's screaming?
My favorite scene from the Spider-Man 2 is the scene where Doc Ock is climbing on the building and you just get that
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
one girl who's like going left, going right, screams, and then goes up to the camera and goes, "Ah," and I'm like, holy shit, there's a lot of screaming. And then don't get me started when Gwen Stacy is on the building with the crane. She just screaming at everyone. There's a fetish in that movie, and the fetish is screaming girls because
I
holy
guess
shit, there's a
what
lot of them.
what I would really look forward to for No Way
No
Home
way
is if
home.
they would bring back sorry sorry
I thought it
is
was
if they would bring back the character song soundtracks. Like imagine like when the
Ooh.
villains come in and they kind of like do another version of it or something.
They
That would be
might.
cool.
I think
You don't like
they
the
Hardcore fans
electro
will go,
music?
wow.
You don't like the dubstep? How about you, Fizz? What else do you want to rant about when it comes to?
No, but yeah, I know. Believe it or not, when I first watched the Amazing Spider-Man 2, I actually liked it. But now
It's
when I watched
funny.
it, but when I watched
It's
it
really
again, I'm
funny.
like, it's so funny and it's so rushed and it's the worst writing ever.
It's
Like
crazy.
they just make all the villains so one-dimensional, and that's not how the villains are when you watch the first
Rhino.
movie.
Yeah.
They just make
Alexi
Alexi.
Savage.
they make them all
Yeah.
children. Like even especially the Green Goblin, like not the actor, but like the writing was just awful. It was just awful. Like, oh, he behaved like he's like a child. He was literally like, "Wah, you didn't give me your blood. I'm gonna kill you now. I'm gonna kill you your life."
I forgot that Jin Erso was in that movie. She was Felicia Hardy.
Oh yeah,
It was so
Felicia.
funny that boardroom
Oh,
meeting. What
her.
is it? Yeah, she was like, "Who you?" I'm Felicia. Everyone reports to Felicia. What the fuck is going on at Oscar? No, but
Everyone reports to
I,
Felicia.
I think
Easy.
no, the scene where Gwen Stacy dies is amazing. I was like, wow, so
Yeah.
Okay,
dark.
that is
But
good.
then they should have ended. The whole reason of him coming back was so dumb. Like he just mopes around for like a while, and then he watched video. Okay, lah,
Yeah,
I come back.
I also
It was so like,
I also didn't
yeah.
like that it was mainly like a drama between Gwen Stacy and Peter Parker. Like honestly, I didn't give a. I mean, it just started getting too long and too annoying. You know what I
This
mean?
is
And
my
I'm just like,
choice.
yeah.
Oh
Oh my
yeah.
god.
I
I
choose
don't
to die.
I don't know if you guys seen this, but like, did you guys see the deleted scene of the Amazing
No, yeah.
Spider-Man 2 where the dad came
The
alive
father.
in the
That's much
grave?
better, right? That's
No,
much
I
better.
laughed. I'm
You didn't
like,
like
how are
it.
you alive? They were
Oh
like,
god.
a plane crash and you're alive?
I thought that was much better because it's a far better reason for Peter getting back on the horse rather than just I watch video. Here and Gwen like, hey, come lah, come back. Okay. I go save kid. No, but I'm just curious, did everyone like the first Amazing Spider-Man? Because I think Amazing Spider-Man 2 you can
Yeah, I did.
definitely laugh at it. But the first one I thought was pretty good. It was like the Dark Knight. I guess it was trying to be all
Yeah,
dark
that
and
was
grounded,
very
but
good.
at least it was grounded enough that everything felt real. But yeah,
Yeah, but I hated
I
his
have.
suit in the Amazing
Mm.
Spider-Man. Like
I don't like his eyes. It's too big.
Uh
it,
yeah.
It's like
no, they were
yeah.
trying to make it look like make it look homemade, like make it look like it's
Ah,
something like a guy can make. But he literally just cut out like spectacles and put it in. So I was like, oh okay, yeah, I guess, but like, oh, you don't look good at all.
hey, sorry lah. These people not rich. They didn't have Tony Stark to go send them suits.
Oh yeah, then Tony Stark came along and just made so many nice suits for Tom
But
Holland.
couldn't
Very
get a better
nice.
apartment for them. What a dick.
Like the suit is probably don't know how many million, but then the house is like
They're still behind on their mortgage. Fucking Tony. But the last question I have for all of you, are you ready?
Yes, bring it.
So when will the Watcher actually interfere? Because if this was, not a threat for him, just one branch of the one multiverse just going bye bye, what will be a threat that he has to go like, okay, time to interfere? Because we know he's gonna interfere, right? We're not gonna have 9 episodes where he just goes cannot, cannot, cannot. We're pretty sure. Like, does anyone think he's not gonna interfere in this season?
He might interfere if all of the different alternate universes are in
Ah,
jeopardy.
okay, okay, okay. So you
Yeah.
Because
think
then there will be no universe
ooh.
to watch. Because then he'll no
Ooh.
You have
longer
no
be the watch.
job.
that's good. Yes. That's actually that's so so two cannot, three cannot. Four, what's the number? All? It has to be all of them.
All.
More than five.
Yep.
All more. Okay, okay. But
Yeah,
that's
something
all.
like
Only
yeah,
if
I
his
think
job is threatened. If his job is threatened, then
yeah.
he will interfere.
I'm the watcher and I have nothing to watch.
Yeah, I'm not I'm not gonna lie. At first, I was quite confused because at first I thought it was timelines, but then because I was thinking TVA and Watch are similar, but then TVA is just timelines, right? And Watch is just the universe or something like that, the whole universe, right? So I feel like yeah, like what Mel said, only if like every single universe is at stake, like maybe like Thanos, instead of the Infinity Stones destroying that one Earth, he just goes and just destroys all the universes. So something like that, yeah.
Yeah, but what can he do? Like what's his power? I also don't know.
Well, he's definitely not a god, as we heard from this episode.
You're right. What's he actually gonna do? Just
like he's just gonna come out in like a robe and be like, hey guys, this is stupid. Don't do this. And then he just walk off.
maybe he has the power to like stop time or something or reverse. Yeah, what
Ooh.
is the Watcher actually gonna do?
Yeah, what does he do?
Oh,
Yeah,
we are
that's why
definitely
like
gonna
Old
see it. Yeah?
people.
yeah, like if he like interfered with like last the strange episode, imagine he just comes out, he's just like, hello, don't do this lah. It's you're gonna end the world. Thank you. And then that's it. Like, oh, that's all you do? Okay, cool.
Honestly, actually, I think the Watcher makes such a good commentary. I would watch this if he has a YouTube channel commenting on shit. I would love, because he's just so sassy, especially in
What
this
if?
episode. He was just like, you see, this is what happens, whatever, and then we let the story continue.
No, imagine like in what is that? Far From Home, like when Strange is trying to do the spell, he just comes out, he just like, don't do that. And then he just goes out. And then they're just there like, huh? Who's that?
You should have listened to your friend Wong, huh?
Yo, Wong. Listen to
But he's
Wong. And then he
Wong.
just goes off.
Yeah.
Benedict Wong is Wong.
Yeah.
In Friends What If. So apparently we wanted to start with, and we thought, oh, we're just going to talk about What If, but of course we are still very excited for No Way Home coming out December 17th, 2021. And I'm very sad that we are probably not going to have a Shang-Chi episode this week because none of us can actually watch it.
We don't even know when. We don't
When,
even know
no,
when.
Where, although I'm really sad because I want to know what the end credit scenes are. I don't want them spoiled for me, but I digress, I
Exactly.
guess. Thank you all for joining us on another episode of Marvel's What If. We hope they keep it up with this quality of writing, I guess. Rate us, review us on iTunes, Apple Podcasts. Keep on listening. Leave us a comment on our YouTubes. Like our videos. It helps us with the algorithm. And signing off for Momo, Mel, Fezzz, and Jang. See you next week for the next episode of
Thank you,
What If.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
再见，谢谢你。Very nice.